Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. Well, I'm not going to talk about fishing right now, but one of the things that the DEC has just put out is tips about treating black bears in our area. In other words, if you live in if you're not out in the woods, they still might come into contact with your yard, your home, or whatever. So these are some of the things that I think it's important for us to realize. And this is why I'm talking about it. Because over the last couple of years, there really does seem to be a much greater number of black bears living in our area. And you can think, well, you got to go into the Adirondacks or whatever. No. I just saw a woods cam set out by a deer hunter that showed 3 black bear in the area right around Canton. And I remember seeing a black bear go in front of my car one year down by the Psych Center, and I immediately called the radio station and said, there's a black bear going through that area. And sure enough, soon everybody else saw that bear. But recently, even over near Potsdam, there have been a number of black bears killed by deer hunters. So what does that all mean? For me, I said on a report a little while ago that I started running in trails in the woods. And of all the things that I could do, the worst thing is to be running in the woods where there's black bears. And here's why I'm saying running is the worst. That's the last thing you ever need to do if you see a black bear in the woods. Don't start running away. That triggers, just like it does with dogs, it triggers something, a flight type of thing, and they will come after you. So here's what the DEC recommends. Number one, realize that black bears are extraordinarily intelligent. So you may think you've got your food all taken care of if you go camping. It's in a closed sort of ice chest type of thing. No, they'll pick that up and they will think and figure out a way to get into there. The other thing, one of the biggest tips that they give to anybody that's going to be in the woods is where there's bears is to carry bear spray. Now, what is bear spray? I didn't even know what that was. I Googled it. I started reading about it, and I'm not sure it's as wonderful or as effective as it's very much like pepper spray, like the same thing that people should carry in dark alleys and so forth as a protection. It shoots this spray out at about 70 miles an hour, so they say, and it's far more concentrated than it is in the spray that we would take for our own defense. So it can be dangerous to our eyes as it supposedly is to theirs. But I'm just passing this tip along. I don't know how effective it really is. Make yourself, if you see a bear and it sees you, if it doesn't see you, then you back away before it does see you. You start backing. Don't turn your back, but start walking away backwards to get away from it before it becomes concerned. If it does see you, then the important thing is you don't play dead. You don't lay down on the ground. That could be one of the worst things, even though we've heard that in the past. Maybe it is with grizzlies because maybe there's no hope there. But anyway, you make yourself as big and as tall as you can, and you start yelling at it. Go away, bear, clanging whatever things you can together to make yourself seem formidable. And if that doesn't work, I guess the biggest thing they recommend is be prepared to fight. Don't run. That's the worst thing that you can do. Let's get back to if you live in an area where the bears could be coming into your yard or whatever. The things that you need to do is if you've got bird feeders out, get that bird seed away because they can smell that. I've heard up to a mile away they can smell bird seed, as crazy as that sounds. But they can, and they love bird seed. You got to keep your pets inside because no pet that we have, I don't care how vicious the dog might be, is any match for the strength and ferocity of a bear. And just, it's about, I guess, being smart. And just be aware that in our area right now, there are more black bears than ever. They're not an aggressive bear by nature, but by nature, maybe we aren't either. I mean, as we know, those are only general rules. You can have the most loving dog in the world. It was born that way. And you might have another dog that is vicious. And that might have been born that way. There's other causes, of course. Well, it's the same thing with bears. Most bears are not going to go to attack you unless they have cubs around, or, and that's only 2 letters, or there could be a lot of other reasons. And those other reasons should make us at least be aware, at least try to be as safe as we can, and just know that we have bears now living with us. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.